close to home, the place our heart should be. I can't believe that we should never ever want to be close to home, close to home.
Morning, everybody.
Oh, hi, Mum.
You're right, Helen. You don't look your normal, radiant self.
It's early, James.
But you're one of those people that's always bright and cheerful first thing. In fact, that's why we got divorced.
You do look a bit low, Mum. What's up?
Oh, it's silly, really. It's nothing. It's just that I've discovered I'm not getting any younger.
Congratulations, Helen. Einstein will be proud of you.
I knew you'd be like this, James. You don't understand. It's different for men.
Well, you're not old, Mum.
Thank you, darling.
I mean, compared to Granny and Grandad, you're really quite young.
Robbie, that's called damning with faint praise.
It's also called rubbing salt into the wound.
Well, that's how they cleaned wounds in the old days. Well, they had to. Well, see, it's for your own good, Mum.
Go to school, Robbie.
It's half term.
Well, go anyway. Now, Helen, what's this all about?
Oh, it's silly, really. It's just that I got a letter from my friend Caroline, who I was at school with, and she enclosed some photographs of her daughter's new baby. Oh, it just got me thinking. Imagine Squiffy packing a grandmother.
The mind boggles.
It'll be me next, and before you know it, I'll be having blue rinses and taking my teeth out in public.
Because you do that anyway.
Don't try and cheer me up, James. It only makes me more depressed.
Oh, come on, Helen. You're as old as you feel.
And I feel middle-aged.
Well, what you need is a pick-me-up. Why don't you go out and spend some money?
Do you think it would help?
Never been known to fail. Buy a new dress and you'll feel a new woman.
Do you know, I think I might. Oh, thank you, James. You've been sweet. I'm sorry to be so silly.
Ah, that's all right, Helen. After all, you know what they say.
What?
There's no fool like an old fool.
I can't understand it. I had her under lock and key the whole time. Bet it was that bloody mongrel down the road. He was always sniffing around.
What mongrel?
Oh, they've moved away now.
Typical. A canine lover and leave a merchant. Poor Sheba. It's tough being a bitch.
Yeah. I can't bear to think of her going through all that suffering again. I think I'll ring James.
Hello? Oh, hi, Vicki. What's up? Oh, that's bad news. The patter of tiny feet, eh? Well, how far gone do you think? What do you mean, how did it happen? Surely you don't need a vet to explain it. Oh, I see. Well, look, there's no use getting in a state about it. Well, look, Vicki, I've got to go. The surgery's about to open. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. In the meantime, try not to worry too much. Yeah, I'll stand by you. Bye.
Did you hear that?
I can't believe it.
But he said the patter of tiny feet.
It was the I'll stand by you I didn't like.
Well, I think it's great.
You can't mean it.
Well, yeah, it means I won't be the youngest anymore. It's brilliant.
I think it's disgusting. At their age, ugh.
I hope it's a boy. He can have my old train set. Well, borrow it anyway.
How can you talk like that? It's awful. Oh, whatever will Mum think?
Whatever will Mum think about what?
Oh, I thought you were going out shopping, Mum.
Yes, I was, but I came back to see if you wanted to come. What's the matter? Come on, you two. Out with it.
I don't think you want to know.
Don't be silly. Of course I do. Come on, spill the beans. Oh, what a horrible expression. Reminds me of the last time Robbie cooked dinner.
Well, it's like this.
What?
Vicky's going to have a baby.
What?
I told you she'd be upset.
I'm not upset. I'm furious. How could your father betray me like this?
It's not him who's having it, Mum. It's Vicki. We learnt this in biology.
Do this to me just when I'm feeling old and dowdy. He decides to become a father again, and with her, has he no taste?
Don't take it so personally.
How else am I meant to take it? I'm his ex-wife, remember? He should have consulted me about this.
Looks like he didn't need any advice. I don't think you should say anything to him, Mum. I mean, he hasn't told us officially yet.
What are you waiting for, an announcement in the Times?
I'm just as upset as you are.
Oh, yes, darling, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for both of you. I'm even more sorry for the baby.
Why?
It'll probably have Vicky's nose.
Hello, George. Well, he seems healthy enough.
Appearances can be deceptive.
Well, would you care to give me a clue?
Well, Mr. Shepherd, basically, it's the talking.
Oh, I see. Well, don't be too discouraged if he's not talking too much. You have to persevere with young budgies.
Not talking? You've got to be kidding. He talks from the moment he wakes up to the second he nods off. And then he whistles in his sleep.
Well, they can be very chatty.
All day long, natter, natter, natter. He never stops for breath. This is the first time he's shut up in a fortnight.
Frankly, I'm surprised he ever gets a word in.
I tell you, Mr. Shepherd, I can't stand much more. I'm at the end of my tether.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Carter, but I don't see that there's anything I can do.
Well, I think a sedative might help.
Oh, well, you'll have to see your doctor about that.
No, not for me, for him.
Mr. Carter, perhaps you've been a little hasty with your choice of pet.
Are you suggesting I should part with George?
Well, if he's causing you so much distress.
Distress? Rubbish. OK, he might be a bit noisy now and then, but at least it drowns out the voices.
You hear voices, do you?
Yes. It's the neighbours. Damn noisy couple. I keep complaining, but it does no good, of course.
Well, Mr. Carter, the next time George gets on your nerves, why don't you try covering his cage with a cloth?
What a splendid idea. Mr. Shepherd, thank you. You've been a real help.
Glad to have been of service.
I don't suppose you've got any ideas what I can do about the neighbours?
Move. Hello, son.
Hi, Dad. Are you on your own now?
Yeah, that was the last for this morning. What's up?
Nothing.
You don't want to talk to me about anything?
Me? Talk to you? No.
Yeah. But if you did want to talk,
Yeah?
I'm listening.
Right.
Good.
Dad,
Yes?
if there were, and I'm not saying there is, of course, but if there were
Yes?
to be an addition to the family.
I've told you before, Robbie, you are not having an iguana.
Talking about that, Dad.
And what are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, if there were to be a new generation of shepherds, then some of us would be okay about it.
A new generation of shepherds. Some of us are okay. Robbie, are you talking about your sister?
Yeah, but don't tell her I told you. I just wanted to say it's all right. It's cool.
Well, you may think it's cool, Robbie, but I'm pretty steamed up about it.
I thought you'd be pleased.
Pleased? Have you told anyone else about this?
No, not yet.
Good, well, just don't say a word. I better have a talk with Kate. Get her for me, will you, Robbie?
You wanted to see me?
Yes, Kate. Sit down. Take the weight off. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you really?
Yes.
You're not feeling sick?
Only when I look at Robbie.
No uncontrollable craving for pistachio ice cream or anything?
Well, if you'll buy it.
Just a thought. Well,
Yes. Well.
nothing you want to tell me then?
Me? Tell you? No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Was there anything you wanted to tell me?
Me? No. No, it's just that if you did want to talk about anything, Kate, then, well, I'm listening.
And that's it?
Well, no, look, what I'm trying to say is that if there were to be, I'm not saying there will be, of course, but if there were...
Yes.
If there were to be a new generation of shepherds beginning, then, well, some of us would think it's not the end of the world. It's, cool.
Oh, really? Well, let me tell you, some of us might not be so thrilled about it.
Hey, come back. We need to talk about this. About what you're going to do. And about who's going to break it to Helen that she's almost a grandmother.
What did he say?
Then he said, was there anything I wanted to tell him?
He didn't.
He did.
The nerve.
I know.
Everyone would think it was you with the guilty secret.
Exactly. For a minute, I thought he'd found out about the time I told him I was staying overnight at Wendy's.
What was that?
Oh,
You know, in a way, I envy him, really.
what do you mean?
Oh, I'd love to have another baby. You and Robbie were so beautiful at that age. You took after me, of course.
I can't believe Robbie was ever beautiful.
He was a little angel, sitting in his pram in his pale blue romper suit with the embroidered ducks on it. Oh, that's the best thing about babies, of course.
Taking them out in the pram, you mean?
No, all the lovely shopping you get to do. I bought you and Robbie loads and loads of delicious little outfits.
I can't see Vicki going to all that trouble.
Oh, she wouldn't appreciate lace christening gowns. Do you know, I think she'll have that poor child in dungarees and gumboots from birth.
She must be mad.
Well, not everybody appreciates the importance of clothes, Kate.
No, I mean getting herself knocked up.
It's an awful expression for what is, after all, the most lovely, beautiful and rewarding experience a woman can have.
What, getting knocked up by Dad?
I didn't mean your father. Well, specifically. It's the whole process of childbirth itself.
Yeah, I can see it must be wonderful. 9 months spent looking like the side of a house, stretch marks, labour and breastfeeding. Ugh, I'm never going to have any kids.
Oh, there are good things to be said for it.
Like what?
Keeps you young.
And sleepless and penniless.
You'll understand one day the joy a tiny, dependent little creature can bring you.
I could get the same effect from a gerbil.
Nonsense! You can't embroider matinee jackets for gerbils. Oh, if I wasn't so old, I'd seriously consider having another one myself.
Oh, Mum. Anybody would think you're in your 80s the way you've been carrying on lately. You're not too old to have another baby, if you really wanted one.
You're right. I'm not, am I?
Although I'd have thought Robbie would have put you off for life.
What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander.
Oh, I hate these stupid expressions. I never know what they mean.
It means, when it comes to being saucy, I'm as good as the next man.
I can't understand it. Kate's such a sensible girl.
Are you kidding? She takes after her mother.
There must be some mistake.
If only. I'm dreading seeing Helen tomorrow.
Do you think Kate's told her?
No, I don't think so. We'd have heard the screams.
I'm sure Helen will be perfectly sensible.
I'm perfectly certain she won't.
And how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm worried, obviously. I mean, after all, Kate is very young.
No, I mean, how do you feel about it personally?
I'm not with you.
Well, surely it hasn't escaped your notice, James, that you are about to become a grandfather.
Do you know it had?
And I don't think it does anything for my image to be seen with someone who is old enough to be one.
Well, thanks very much. You're not leaving me, are you?
Yeah, I am, actually. I gotta go home and check on Sheba.
I wish you showed as much concern for me.
I would, if you were having puppies.
How is she generally?
She's definitely not herself.
Well, why don't you bring her down to the surgery tomorrow and I'll take a look at her?
Oh, would you?
Of course. That way I get to take a look at you at the same time. Well, see you tomorrow then. Night, Vicki.
Night, Gramps.
Oh, there you are, Helen. Run along, Robbie. I want to speak to your mother.
Oh, must I?
Do as your father says, Robbie.
The only time you two agree is when you're ganging up against me.
Helen, we must talk.
James, before you say anything, there's something I want to ask you.
Well, can't it wait? This is very important.
So is this. James, will you do me a favour?
Of course I will, Helen.
Swear to me that you'll do this no matter what.
Yes, anything, I promise.
In that case, James, would you mind getting me pregnant?
Pardon?
Please, James, say yes.
Well, I can't say anything, Helen. I'm speechless.
I've thought about this long and hard, and I've definitely decided I want another baby. In fact, twins would be lovely.
Helen, you can't be serious.
And I'm not getting any younger, and I haven't got any time to waste, but with Frank away, of course, it makes it all rather tricky.
You are serious.
And the good thing about you is that I know you're capable of it. It cuts out all that awful uncertainty.
Helen?
So, let's get cracking. What's the matter?
Helen, I'm not listening to this.
But, James, you promised.
Frankly, Helen, I'm shocked.
James.
I think it's highly immoral that you should ask me to be the father of your child. What would our children think?
Don't be so silly. Honestly, James, I think it's very selfish of you. I don't know how you can refuse me this one little thing.
What do you mean, little?
Yours is the easy bit. It's the next 9 months that's the hard part. It won't even take long. At least it never used to.
Helen, I refuse to discuss this any further.
You're right. We're wasting time. Let's get down to it.
Get off of me, Helen. I'll talk to you when you've calmed down.
James, come back. Oh, just have to wait for him. Oh, nice little maternity dress.
Oh, there you are. There's something I want you to do for me.
Oh, no, Rose, not you as well.
No, I only want you to take the splinter out of my finger for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, of course, yes.
It's a bit tricky when it's your right hand.
Yep. There you go.
Ah.
That's a nasty one.
Yes. And talking of something nasty, Mrs. Jenkins has an appointment for later this morning.
Mrs. Jenkins? Not the Mrs. Jenkins who owns the Yorkshire Terrier that bit me last time.
That's the one. He also bit a cat owner in the waiting room, and a man who came to read the meter, and the VAT man who just happened to arrive at the wrong time.
Well, the dog's not all bad, then. What's his name again?
Putsy.
Putsy, yes. Well, you can't really blame him, can you?
Why did you say, and not you too, Rose, just now?
You wouldn't believe me even if I told you.
Oh, go on. Spill the beans, as they say. Funny expression, that.
What, spill the beans?
No, as they say, as who says? And why should we take any notice of them? So?
Well, Rose, for one mad moment, I thought you were going to ask me to be the father of your child.
No, not today, thanks. I've had more than enough of my fair share of children.
I didn't know you had any children, Rose.
Well, not of my own, no. But when you're a royal nanny, you tend to look on your charges as your own as well as the nation's.
You were a royal nanny?
The heir to the throne called me Auntie Rosie. Haven't I ever mentioned it?
I would have remembered.
I'll send him the next patient, shall I?
Yes, do. A few crazed animals after Helen will be a welcome relief.
Never seen her look so poorly.
I know. I've had enough of this. I'm going to ring James and put a stop to it right now.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Helen. It's Vicki here.
Oh, I believe congratulations are in order.
What do you mean?
Well, aren't you expecting a happy event?
Oh, yeah, well, that's just it. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm coming down to James now so he can terminate it.
What?
Could you tell him we're on our way?
But, Vicki, you can't be serious.
Well, of course I am. What's the matter with you, Helen? It's a perfectly simple operation.
Be over in a matter of minutes.
You murderers!
I can't believe what you're saying to me.
Look, Helen, this really is for the best. Please trust me on this. Could you just give the message to James?
Vicki, please, don't do anything rash, I beg you. Look, I'm prepared to adopt.
In fact, I'd love to. Please, let me.
It isn't a question of homes for the puppies, Helen. For the what? It's a question of my dog's health.
What?
I said, look, I'm worried about Sheba.
She nearly died last time she had a litter. I don't want her going through all that again.
You mean it's Sheba that's pregnant?
Well, of course it is. Who else would it be?
Oh, yes. I'll tell James you're coming. Bye, Vicki.
James is right, you know. She definitely is unbalanced.
James!
Now, look, Helen, it's no use. I'm just not going to do it.
It's all right, James. Everything's all right. Vicki's not pregnant.
What are you talking about? Vicki's not pregnant. Of course she isn't.
Isn't it wonderful news?
Well, excuse me if I don't crack open the champagne. It's a bit like telling me I haven't won the pools when I didn't even send in the coupon.
It's made me realise it's the last thing I need is a little new baby. Sleepless nights, nappies, endless crying. It'd be like having Frank home again.
That's good news, at least. Still, now we've only got one thing to worry about.
Why? Whatever's that?
Well, it's not Vicki who's pregnant. It's Kate.
Kate!
Helen's hysterical.
Oh, anyone got to do for that? Put her head between her knees. Was her knees behind her neck? I can never remember.
What's all this screaming? Mum, what's wrong?
Who's responsible?
What?
Just tell me his name. I'll send Frank's boys around. Better still, I'll go myself.
Whose name?
The name of the boy, the swine, who's responsible for your predicament.
Try and root out some tranquilizing pellets.
To do with some, yes.
Dad, do you know what she's talking about?
Look, calm down, Helen. Now, listen, Kate. We don't want you to be embarrassed. We just want you to confide in us. We love you, you know that.
Don't put words into my mouth, James. For the last time, Kate, what's the name of the boy who's made you pregnant?
Hello?
Helen, maybe this isn't the time or the place.
There's no time like the present. James, lend me a horsewhip.
Oh, for goodness sake, Helen. If there's any horsewhipping to be done, I'll do it.
I'm not pregnant.
What?
Vicki is.
No, she's not. Sheba is.
No, she's not, actually. She was sick in the car and brought up one of those little rubber balls that children play with.
I used to love those when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know they were still around.
And never lasted very long.
Fell apart, did they?
And they'd bounce so high you could never find them again.
Heaven knows where she found it. But she's all right now.
Aren't you, you silly dog? So you're not going to have a baby after all?
No. Nor have I swallowed any foreign bodies, unless you count Jenny's cooking.
So is anybody actually pregnant?
Not unless there's something Rose hasn't told us. I must say, Vicki, I've never known anyone mistake a swallowed toy for a pregnancy before.
I'm sorry. I was just worried about Sheba.
You'd understand, James, if you were a mother yourself.
You're right. If I became a mother, I'd be very worried.
After all, anyone can make a mistake.
They certainly can.
Close to home, the place our heart should be. I can't believe that we should never ever want to be. Close to home is where I need to be, where all the troubles of the day can keep me company. Close to